Hey guys, welcome back to a new crypto market update. A lot has happened during the week, so let's dive right in. Let's start with the news from the weekend. Donald Trump announced the crypto strategic reserve containing XRP, Solana and ADA, and the market reacted very bullish, so we had a nice pump on Sunday back above the 90k resistance. But then the next news came in on Monday, the first tariffs from Donald Trump against China, Canada and Mexico. The stock market dumped, and for sure the crypto market followed. So yeah, all this buying pressure we had went to selling pressure. If you look on the Bitcoin weekly, you can see that we already were below the 90k support again, here nearly the 80k. So a lot of up and down, many traders got liquidated again, but today we see first signs of a potential recovery, and it doesn't look too bad for the next days. If we take a look at the current weekly candle right here, we already can see that we form a long wick. And this is a good sign, because if we manage to close further above, maybe above the 90k support, we could end with a nice pin bar. And this would be definitely a bullish sign for the next week. But let's take a look at the Bitcoin daily chart, because here it is a little bit more clear what really happened. On Sunday we had this nice up bar. And then after Donald Trump announced the tariffs, we went down again. But then the Tuesday came, and in the beginning it looked like we will end even lower and maybe even revisit this low right here. But at the end of the day, we managed to pump back above and closed with this nice pin bar here on Tuesday. This was already a bullish sign, and it's not very surprising that we already took out the previous day high today with this candle. But right now we are forming another pin bar on the daily with a long wick, and this one's a bearish pin bar. So if we close like this below the 90k support, it's definitely better to be cautious and to wait for a clean bullish reversal. In the best case, we are able to take out this top right here we formed on Sunday, so get something like this and then a little pullback, and then we can aim for the 110k top and maybe even above. To better understand what happened within the last days, we should also take a look at the Bitcoin CME future chart, the daily chart, because it was very interesting. Last week on Friday, we tested this CME gap and managed to bounce back above afterwards. But on Monday, we opened with another very large CME gap, as you can see here with this box. Then we went down all the way to completely fill this gap, and we even went below. But as you can see, at the end of the day, Bitcoin managed to pump back inside and from this pin bar right here. And that's great, because if we would have closed below the CME gap, maybe right here, it would be very dangerous to look for longs, because a revisit of this low would have been very likely then. But as we pumped back above and closed inside the CME gap right here, it honestly looked kind of bullish for the next day, for the Wednesday, which is today, and therefore I remain with a bullish bias for the next days. Only this pin bar right here is not very nice. If we close like this, we definitely have to be cautious. So it's not a very strong bullish bias, but it's still a bullish bias. Now let's take a look at the traditional markets with the Nasdaq chart right here. And yeah, it's very interesting, because we took out this support last week, and then this week we even closed below the support and also filled this gap right here. It's a very interesting area, and we filled it completely. But as you can see, in the end, we closed inside the gap. That's definitely a bullish sign, but the Tuesday candle right here didn't look very bullish at all. So traditional markets are still in danger with this movement, and we can see that today we are already below this gap. And it more and more looks likely that we will revisit this low right here. And this will be the moment where we definitely need to bounce off to prevent the worst. Because if we close below, as you can see, the next low is far below us right here. And yeah, it wouldn't be very nice to go down to this area, because Bitcoin and crypto will definitely follow. So again, I definitely have a bullish bias, but it's just a slightly bullish bias, because the traditional market still looks too bearish right now. What gives a little bit hope is the DXY chart, because we took out this low right here, and it looks like we will even close below. So the dump might continue to the next low, And if this doesn't hold, we can dive even deeper to this support at around $100, maybe a bit above. And you might know that if the US dollar is dumping, it's always a positive sign for Bitcoin. But the correlation to the traditional market is stronger right now, and that's why this gives just a slightly more bullish bias. Let's take a look what alts are doing with the Bitcoin dominance chart right here. As you can see today with this green candle, we are pumping back above, and this already means that alts performing not really well right now. We are also forming this range right here, detected by the Trend Bars Pro. And it will be interesting to see if we manage a breakout above the range right here or below the range. And this could be the next direction for altcoins. Yeah, a breakout above would mean Bitcoin will continue to outperform the altcoins, and a breakout below could mean that we also will get a breakdown below this trend channel, and then we could even revisit this low, and this could be a great time for alts. But it's too early to say that, and right now it more looks like that we could get a breakout above the range. Also, if you take a look at the pair charts, this is the most important pair chart, the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. And as you can see, we are still in this downtrend, forming lower lows. And it doesn't look like this will change in the near future. I honestly think this chart could go down to the next support level, this one here. Maybe we will even take it out and then print a reversal. But this will be one of the last chances for Ethereum, because Ethereum is really the big loser of this cycle. And if this chart looks bearish like right now with this downtrend, most of the alts will have a very hard time, especially the ones on the Ethereum blockchain. So if you look for longs with this slightly bullish bias, definitely don't look for longs on Ethereum. But there are some altcoins that still perform better, even better than Bitcoin. And for example, ADA. For sure, Cardano is part of the crypto strategic reserve announced by Donald Trump. And that's where this massive bullish reversal bar comes from, the blue bar from the Trend Bars Pro. It's a strong bullish signal, and especially that we closed the last week with this bullish reversal bar. If we look at the current weekly candle, we dropped below the weekly close, but still we are forming a long wick. And if we close the week a bit higher, maybe around here, we would still end with a nice pin bar, and this would be a bullish signal for the next week. If Cardano moves up higher then, and also takes out this resistance right here at around 1.34 US dollar, it's definitely possible that we will get a move like this, take it out this high, then a little pullback, and then we could even aim for the all-time high at around 3 US dollar. You can see it better if I move the chart together like this. This was the all-time high. And yeah, I also entered a long trade based on this. But the setup is on the daily chart. First, we managed to break out of this descending broadening wedge with this green bar right here. Then afterwards, as you can see, we got rejected. We even took out these highs around here, but then we got rejected, moved down, and then we have this overlapping fair value gap, or IFVG. This means that we have one bearish FVG right here on the left side, and then a bullish FVG on the other side. And this is called the overlapping or inverse FVG. It's the strongest type of all FVGs, and it's likely if one of these FVGs gets retested that we will get a strong upwards move afterwards, and this is what I'm waiting for, so we can visit the all-time high above here. And that's why I entered a long trade right after we bounced off this IFVG. I already dropped this signal on X and also on our Discord, and if you want my signals as fast as possible so you can trade with me, I can just recommend to visit me on Discord or on X. Both links are in the descriptions, so that you never will miss out on a signal I'm providing. And for sure, that's all for free. But if you still think about an entry right here, there's one thing to consider. Because right now, we are forming a pin bar again on the daily, this thing here, with a long wick. And if we close the day like this, I would recommend to not enter a long trade right here, because this is often a bearish sign, and it can be that the next candle will be a down candle. And if this happens, and if we maybe close right here, I will also close my long position and take a small loss. It is how it is sometimes. So only if we manage a recovery today and maybe close back above the descending resistance right here of the descending broadening wedge, then the setup is still valid, and a bullish continuation tomorrow is likely to take out this high in the next step, which is a very interesting level, and this one is even more interesting because if we take out this high and then print a reversal, I will definitely take my profits home. Because with a very slightly bullish bias we have right now, with the traditional market still looking bearish, I will take my profits home very aggressively and I will close my position on the slightest sign of a bearish reversal. That's it for today. Hope you liked it. Please leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you like my content and if you want to stay updated. See you next time.